Hey guys, this is Adam here, and today we're going to be looking at the Week 1 slate for NFL DFS 2021, comparing DraftKings and FanDuel pricing for individual players, and looking to see, based on those pricing, where you get discounts between the two sites to help us gain a little bit more insight. And it's pretty cool because some of the things that I hadn't considered before, or none of the analysts are talking about, showed up here, which I found very, very fascinating and intriguing. Just real quick to explain how I compare the salaries. I take a player like a Chase Edmonds, who we're going to be talking about, at 4,600 on DK. I grab his FanDuel salary. Remember that DraftKings is a 50,000 salary cap and FanDuel is $60,000 salary cap. And so that's a 20% increase. So to compare apples to apples, you have to multiply their DK salary by 20%, which I do here before doing the comparison. And so a Chase Edmonds on FanDuel is 5,900. His DK equivalent salary would be $5,520, 5,500 roughly. And then you can kind of see what the discount is between the two sites, just based solely on their salary. And that's how we're going to do some comparisons. So I'm going to give you some discounts on DraftKings and then give you some discounts on FanDuel, and not necessarily saying you should play the guys that have the discounted prices. It might mean you don't play the guys on the other site. But let's just get into it. So DraftKings discount from a quarterback position, it was oddly enough, the best discounts were both of the Denver Broncos quarterbacks. The New Orleans Saints quarterbacks came in a close second, but you can see that FanDuel preemptively priced these guys pretty high at 6,600, and they're close to the flat min on DK at 48 and 4,900 respectively. It's a 10 and 12% discount. Not necessarily excited about playing Denver quarterbacks. I am certainly staying away, whoever is named a starter, I am certainly staying away from them on FanDuel, but this low price is certainly intriguing given the fact that the FanDuel analysts think that they might have an actual good matchup against New York Giants, which I don't necessarily think that. I'm definitely staying away on FanDuel, but might be interested in DK. When it comes to running backs and the discounts, I'll just be honest with you, on DK, it is absolutely slim pickings. Let me show you this. This is the most valuable lesson that I got out of doing this comparison is that, and you'll see this right here. I took out min price, guys. There are literally 3 running backs on DraftKings that are discounted on DraftKings compared to FanDuel. Every other running back is better priced on FanDuel. I thought the prices on running backs for DraftKings were pretty soft. They were okay. But when I look at this comparison, there's no contest. And if you're playing FanDuel, the advice that I would give is jam running backs into your flex this week. Like, intentionally put a running back in your flex. GPP, you should always be doing that in cash anyways, but in GPP, that is what you should do. This data makes it very obvious. There are literally 3 running backs that have discounted prices on DraftKings, which means that's who we have to talk about, which 2 of them happen to be the Arizona Cardinals running backs, which are James Conner and Chase Edmonds. Again, they're the 1A, 1B. That's kind of the talk that's been out there. But their DraftKings salaries are very low. And so honestly, they're worth a look where I didn't think they would be worth a look. No one's talking about these guys. And if one of them gets hurt, God forbid, or if something happens where one's a clear-cut workhorse down or running back or something along those lines, or there's absolutely no news, they're still potentially worth a look. Both of these guys. I don't necessarily like the Arizona running game just because Kyler runs it so much, but this is a very intriguing statistic that you're actually getting a discount on running backs for the Arizona running backs versus there's literally, except for Latavius Murray, no other running back that is cheaper on DK than FanDuel. When it comes to wide receivers, there's a couple of names I want to mention. These are lower priced guys in general on DraftKings because their min is 3,000 and FanDuel's is 4,000. You're going to see this. But Marvin Jones is a very intriguing option. FanDuel actually has him priced pretty high at 5,800. I feel like this is an easy fade. But from a DK standpoint, You can get some double stacks with Trevor Lawrence in here at this low of a price. And the FanDuel salary is indicative of that. He is number 2 on the depth chart. And he comes in with a 25% discount on DraftKings. And so, especially if you're interested and you like doing the double stacking, which I do, putting him in, it's a very cheap option to pair him with Trevor Lawrence and a Laviska Shenault or a DJ Chark. Another person that kind of shows up on the radar with a 25% discount on DraftKings is BRESHAD PERRIMAN. No one's excited about the Detroit passing game, I know, but it is Jared Goff. He's competent, and BRESHAD PERRIMAN has put up decent games with mediocre quarterbacks. Jameis Winston in Tampa Bay, and I don't even know who was throwing him the ball in New York. Was it Darnold all season? I can't remember. Anyways, he was hurt some of last season, but $3,500. Again, FanDuel has him priced up at $5,600. It's a 25% discount in DraftKings. And so again, a name no one's that I've heard is talking about, but it showed up on the stats here as a significant discount from FanDuel. And so he is a guy I definitely would stay away from in FanDuel because of this, but am interested in looking at him in DraftKings. Tight end is this guy, Kyle Pitts, is a lot of people are talking about him. This is a fade for me in FanDuel because he is the 3rd highest priced tight end. And so, but on DK, comparatively, you get a 12% discount at 4,400. Again, I need to really see. I think he's going to have a lot of ownership, just to be honest with you. And if he does, that's a easy fade for me. But the price itself is interesting, to say the least. And so the analysis that I got from it is stay away from FanDuel and potentially look at him on DraftKings. And staying with Atlanta, the defense, this is actually a very intriguing option that FanDuel, again playing Atlanta, playing Philadelphia, FanDuel priced them way up at 3,900. Probably it's like middle of the pack for them. Their min price is 3,000 for defenses on FanDuel. This is more of a medium price, middle of the road price for FanDuel, and they are dirt cheap. They are the flat minimum on DraftKings. This is a 38% discount. And this was an intriguing option where normally you look at a $2,000 defense and go, no thanks. But this is not that. This is an option that I am very seriously considering and probably will play a significant amount of. Again, seeing this FanDuel salary, I think it's I wouldn't play him on FanDuel for sure, but seeing it at the flat minimum on DK makes me intrigued. So there's much more analysis we could give, but those are some of the high points for DraftKings discounts. Again, comparing salaries to FanDuel. Let's flip the script here. So on the quarterback side, Patrick Mahomes is actually the best discounted price on FanDuel compared to DraftKings. His DK salary is 8,100, which honestly isn't so bad, but you add in 20% to compare him to FanDuel, and it puts him at like a 96, 9,700. And you're getting him at 88, which is a 10% discount. This is very interesting. And spoiler, the tight end on this list is from Kansas City also. And so this looks like a very intriguing stack on the FanDuel site. When it comes to running backs, we talked about how DraftKings is, it was hard to find running backs that had a discount because there's literally only 3 of them. On FanDuel, it's like take your pick and play all the running backs. Starting with, there's 3 of them. I'm just going to point out there are about 7 or 8 that are just really good plays. DeAndre Swift, 500 less than DK, again with 10,000 more salary cap room. It's a 29% discount compared to DraftKings. That seems like a really, really good play. Austin Ekeler, you need to account for the half-point PPR in FanDuel, but he's $100 less than DraftKings. That's a 21% discount. These are significant discounts compared to DraftKings. And Jonathan Taylor, same thing as Austin Ekeler, $100 discount. That counts, or $100 less than DraftKings, which accounts for a 21% FanDuel discount. These are 3 running backs, and there are several others that have a 10 to 15% discount on their FanDuel price tag versus DK. Once again, play all the running backs week 1 in FanDuel. When it comes to wide receivers, DraftKings again has some of the discounted prices on the lower tiers, but in FanDuel you want to play the higher price guys. And Calvin Ridley is a great example of that. He's only $200 more on FanDuel than DraftKings, which is a 17% discount. He's obviously in a very good spot against Philadelphia. And so I like the price on DK. I thought it was appropriately priced, which means this discount here is going to be very, very good. Also, the Minnesota wide receivers, who are both $300 more on their FanDuel salary than their DK, which is a 15% discount. Again, accounting for the 20% extra salary room that you have. Both of these guys look very intriguing. Because it's half-point PPR, I tend to actually go, as personal opinion, I tend to go with Thielen because of the touchdown upside. He should have some regression this year, but I think he's Cousins' go-to target in the end zone. And so that touchdown upside makes it really good. From a tight end standpoint, I kind of gave this away, but Travis Kelce has a 17% FanDuel discount. Again, only $200 more than his DK salary, which, $8,300 is a pretty steep price tag on DK. I have no idea what his ownership is going to look like, but FanDuel looks like a much better play. And then from the defensive standpoint, the New York Giants actually stand out. We talked about Denver's quarterbacks. The New York Giants D actually stands out because they are $100 less and $200 less than Atlanta, by the way, $100 less than their DK salary, which is a 23% discount. I am definitely not playing a $3,800 New York Giants defense on DraftKings, but this, with a min price of 3,000 defense on FanDuel, this looks like a very intriguing option. Again, because DK priced them up so much, I guess they think their defense is really, really, really good. And if that is the case, then this price right here is going to be an absolute steal. So there you have it. Those are a really quick rundown of the comparative pricing between DraftKings and FanDuel for week 1. I hope this information was different and informative and helpful for you. And we'll see you later.